Why are young people on campus shouting things like globalize the Intifada? Check out this clip over here with Douglas Murray talking on Fox News, where he goes through exactly how this came to be. So we'll watch this clip together and then talk about it. But first, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Check this out.
On democracies and death cults, Douglas Murray joins us now. Douglas, I want to repeat what Jonathan Epstein said. He looked into the shooter's eyes. He was there, and he was also at Columbia, and he said, I saw the same thing in his eyes as I saw in the eyes of the protesters at Columbia. That's chilling.
It is, but it's completely to be expected. Some of us have been saying since the 7th of October massacre and Hamas's starting of this phase of the war, some of us have said repeatedly, why is it that across university campuses in the US and across so many of our cities, there are so many young people in particular who have decided to side not with the victim, Israel, whose people were massacred on the 7th and so brutally abducted, but have decided to side with the death cult that did that? Why is it that at campus after campus, young people have been chanting things like globalize the Intifada? They've pretended, their authorities have pretended, these are sort of technical issues. Intifada could mean anything, like Sieg Heil is just high. No, it isn't. Intifada is a tactic which the Palestinian terrorists use repeatedly in recent decades, where they target Jews for annihilation through repeat terrorist attacks. And when these students have said, globalize the Intifada, well done, guys. On Wednesday night in Washington, D.C., we got a glimpse of what that means. It means bringing terror to the streets of America.
Yeah, words have meaning. You talk about siding against the victim. I think about Yaron, that young man. He had bought a ring. He was about to propose to Sarah. Yaron's friend described him this way. He's a devout Christian, the finest friend I've ever had. Gifted language. This guy was brilliant. He spoke German, Hebrew, Japanese, brimming with ideas. He loved America. He was excited about visiting Texas for the first time. And I look at this, and then I look at that group that says they did this as an expression of anti-Zionism. We need more of these murders. Who raised these people? College ideology aside, who raised these people to think it's okay to kill the innocent?
You know, the problem is we have an indoctrination problem and a radicalization problem here in the US. We've heard a lot, not enough, but a lot about Islamic radicalization. We've heard a lot about far-right radicalization for many years. Well, this is a form of radical left radicalization. These people have been taught to chant murderous chants and to adopt a murderous cause. And it leads to this despicable young man gunning down 2 people leaving a Jewish museum in Washington, D.C. in the hope that he was killing Jews.
Yeah, what a sad week it was indeed. Douglas Murray, thank you.
In the far left view of the world, like the Marxist view of the world, there's only 2 types of people. There's the oppressor and the oppressed, right? There's the oppressor and the victim. And all of the problems, anything that goes on in the world can be defined by those 2 reasons. If you are successful, you are successful. Why? Because you're an oppressor. And if you're not successful, it has nothing to do with your personal choices. It's because you've been oppressed. You're a victim. And so when they look at Israel and they see success, they see oppressors, colonizers. And when they see Hamas, or the Gazans, Palestinians, whatever it is, they see non-success. So they must be that way, not because of their own decision-making, not because of their own choices, but because they've been oppressed. Because there's only oppressors and oppressed in this world. And so you'll find people, either on college campuses or on other far-left groups and ideologies, that will side with people that are in their minds oppressed because they too perceive themselves as oppressed. Even though if they were to go to that area of the fundamentalist Islamic world, that they would not be welcomed, like the LGBTQ community, but because they perceive themselves in the United States as being oppressed, they see themselves as an oppressed minority, they want to support other groups that they deem to be oppressed as well. We know that this is not the real way in which the world is broken down. There's a lot more complexity to the world rather than just broad brushing in oppressor and oppressee viewpoints. But that's what drives a lot of this far left support for groups like Hamas. Unfortunately, if you chant something enough and you chant slogans that have the underpinnings of violence, like globalize the Intifada, unfortunately, it's only a matter of time until someone takes that message to heart and acts upon it. And unfortunately, we saw that all too recently, and hopefully we do not see it again. Hopefully these groups and these ideas can be crushed, and the war, God willing, will be over very soon. If you like this content overall, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Take care.